The screen is dark. The sound of wind moves through silence. A faint glow rises from behind the stones. Then a voice breaks through, low and heavy with promise. Time has never been a friend, yet it binds us tighter than blood. Every choice, every step, it brings us back here, to where it all began. The mist rolls across the ancient stones, curling like whispers from the past. Shadows stretch across the Highlands, carrying secrets that refuse to rest. In the distance, thunder grumbles, as if the earth itself remembers every battle fought, every vow spoken. This is not just a place, it is a passage, a doorway between lives, between centuries, between love and loss. The voice continues, deeper now, almost trembling with the weight of memory. We have crossed time for each other, faced war, betrayal, and death itself. But love does not rest. It does not end. It endures, even when the world burns. Sudden flashes tear across the screen. A hand reaching for the stone, a sword dropping to the ground, the cry of a child in the night. These glimpses are brief, like fragments of a dream you wake from too soon. The sound of a heartbeat builds, louder with each cut, steady like a drum calling warriors to march. Then, silence. A single candle flickers in the darkness. The flame bends, fighting the pull of the wind, refusing to die. The voice returns, softer now, almost a whisper meant only for the listener. But fate is not finished with us. The road ahead is darker, and the cost of love may yet be everything. The music swells, bagpipes merging with pounding drums. The sound of storm and sorrow colliding. The screen fades to black, leaving only the echo of the last word. Everything. A sudden strike of lightning cuts through the mist, revealing broken ground scattered with torn banners. The camera drifts across the soil, stained with blood, littered with letters never delivered, and coins left for the dead. The storm above churns like an angry beast, its voice echoing across the Highlands. The narration enters, steady, but laced with dread. Every choice carves a scar. Every battle leaves a shadow. But what if the shadows of the past are no longer behind us, but standing in front of us? The music shifts, sharp violins scratching against the silence like warning cries. Quick flashes appear. A door slamming shut, a soldier's hand trembling, an old map burned at the edges. Each image vanishes before it can be understood, as if time itself is tearing at the edges of memory. The camera turns slowly, capturing the standing stones again. But this time, they are no longer quiet. They hum, glowing faintly as if awakened. The earth beneath them cracks, veins of light spreading outward like roots reaching for the living. A whisper grows louder, not one voice but many, overlapping, echoing, "It is not over. It is not over. It is not over." The heartbeat from before returns, faster now, echoing like war drums. Each beat syncs with flashes of unseen figures. A hooded stranger standing in the rain, a blade raised in the firelight, a tear running down a face that fades before we know it. The narration deepens. What lies ahead is not only war, but reckoning. Promises broken will return to claim their price, and the cost of holding on to love may be greater than the cost of letting it go. The storm roars, and the screen bursts into a flood of light. A battlefield of fire, soldiers charging through the smoke, and in the distance, the echo of a woman's voice crying a name. The sound cuts suddenly, silence falls again. Only the stones remain, glowing in the mist, waiting. The sound of rain falling in the dark. Each drop echoes like the ticking of a clock, steady and merciless. A lantern swings in the wind, its light trembling against old stone walls. The frame closes in on a hand, scarred, gripping tightly to a letter. The parchment is damp, the ink smudged, but one word is still clear. Remember. The narration rises, no longer calm but edged with urgency. Time is not a gift, it is a burden, and it will demand what was stolen. The screen shifts to a blur of moments. A pair of hands pulling apart, a dagger hidden beneath a cloak, eyes watching through the crack of a door. Each image feels too close, as though the viewer themselves is being hunted by memory. The music grows sharp, punctuated by silence, then bursts of sound. The clash of steel, the thundering of hooves, the cry of men in the distance. A figure stands in the shadows, faceless, waiting. Their breath is heavy, echoing against the stone. Then a softer vision breaks through the violence. Claire's hand reaches out, brushing against Jamie's. A single touch in a world tearing apart. A whispered vow carries over the storm. We will find each other, no matter the cost. But even this tenderness fractures, the touch fades. The voices overlap, tangled with the storm's roar. One voice warns, "The truth cannot be buried." Another cries, "The future is not safe." And then, silence again. The camera drifts upward, over the battlefield now empty, over rivers running red with rain. The stones in the distance glow brighter, but this time the light feels wrong, colder, sharper, as though calling not for reunion, but for sacrifice. The narration lowers, heavy with dread. The fight is no longer for land or crown. It is for the soul of every moment yet to come. The lantern flame goes out. Darkness swallows the frame. The screen flickers alive with firelight. Flames consume the edges of a wooden table. Maps curling into ash. Shadows of men shout across the blaze, their words drowned by the roar of battle outside. The camera pulls back, not to reveal their faces, but their hands, clenched into fists, stained with blood, trembling with decisions that cannot be undone. The music explodes with pounding drums, bagpipes weaving through the chaos like a war cry. Each beat syncs with flashes of vision. A horse charging through smoke, a sword shattering against stone, a pair of eyes widened in fear. The rhythm quickens, like time itself is running out. The narration returns, fierce and unrelenting. War tears through the land. Destiny sharpens its blade. But even in the ruins of hope, one truth endures. Love is not bound by centuries, but it is chained to sacrifice. The storm rises again, now joined by screams, whispers, and the echo of names shouted into the void. Claire's voice breaks through the noise, calling for Jamie. His reply thunders back, though unseen. Always. The sound of it shatters into silence, leaving only a single echoing heartbeat. The screen turns black, then a faint glow. The standing stones reappear, brighter than before, their hum louder, vibrating like the world itself is unraveling. The ground cracks beneath them, pulling the viewer closer as if being dragged into the light. A final whisper cuts through. The past will not rest. The future will not wait. The time has come. Once more, the stones erupt in a burst of light. Everything vanishes. Silence. On screen, the words fade in through the mist. The screen is black. No music, no storm, only silence. Then faintly the sound of footsteps crunching on wet earth. Slow, steady. Each step echoes as though inside a tunnel of time. A dim lantern flickers to life, revealing not the Highlands, but a modern street. Asphalt glistens with rain. Car lights pass in the distance, blurred and strange. The camera tilts downward, showing the same ancient stone, but now broken, lying in the middle of the modern world. The heartbeat returns, slow but heavy. A shadow steps closer. Only their hand is shown, reaching out to touch the cracked stone. The glow ignites once more, brighter than ever. A whisper, soft but chilling, fills the silence. History has escaped, and it will not be contained. The stone vibrates, the screen shakes, and just before it bursts into light, everything cuts to black. The words appear slowly, one by one, in silence. Season 8 is only the beginning. The sound of a clock ticking fades in, then stops. The screen is pitch black. No light, no sound. Then slowly a single breath is heard. It is not calm. It is ragged, desperate, as though someone has run through centuries only to arrive here, now. A whisper follows, not one voice but many, overlapping like broken glass. They thought time was a circle, but it is a cage. Suddenly, the screen flickers with distorted images, not scenes, but glimpses. A wedding veil torn by wind, a battlefield frozen mid-motion, soldiers suspended like statues, a clock shattering, its hands spinning backward and forward at once. Each flash is only a heartbeat long, gone before the mind can process. The hum of the stones returns, but warped, lower, almost monstrous. The ground is no longer misty Highlands. It is endless void, where the stones float in the dark like stars. They spin slowly but unnaturally, as if something unseen is pulling the threads of time apart. The narration sharpens into clarity, a single voice now. The war was never for crowns or nations. It was for time itself. And time is losing. The stones fracture. Light spills out, but this time it is not soft. It burns white-hot, tearing across the screen like lightning through glass. For a split second, a shadowed figure stands at the center of the storm, faceless, unmoving. Then silence. The black returns. The final words appear in red, slow and deliberate, as if carved into the screen itself. Outlander Season 8. Fate cannot be escaped. A final sound closes the section. Not music, not storm, just the turning of a single page, echoing into the dark. The screen flickers with faint light. Not fire, not storm, but dawn. A horizon glows pale gold over the Highlands, mist rising gently as though the earth itself is trying to heal after centuries of wounds. For a moment, everything feels still, calm, safe. The narration softens, almost tender, as if speaking directly to one heart. Every journey has its ending, but some stories refuse to end, because love, once set in motion, can never be silenced. The camera drifts across the stones one last time. They no longer hum or burn. They stand in silence, patient, eternal, watching. A soft wind moves through the grass, carrying whispers that can almost be understood, but fade before they form. Suddenly, a final heartbeat echoes. Slow, heavy. It shakes the air like thunder beneath the calm sky. The stones flash once, faintly, as if answering the beat. The screen turns black. Words appear, one at a time, stark against the void. Outlander, Season 8. The final chapter begins. The voice returns, only a whisper now. Time always finds its way back. Then, silence. The trailer ends,